Yay!
Who else has joined us? And more importantly, do we have sound? Wait, do we have your sound?
Do we have sound?
Yes. You just showed up on the
Okay.
bar, so.
We have sound.
Okay, good. And go. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are back on working on pillow number 3. As you can see, we are kind of a ways down here. We are on row 17? Yes, I think 17. That sounds right. Hey, Rainbow made it. Alright, that's who the number 2. Oh, there's a third. Hello, everybody. So wait, before we get too far, I want to remind everybody we have a secret word game. It is back. All you have to do is chat and you can win one of these, well, not one of, you can win both of these lovely bracelets, one made by me and one made by Minute Craft, who is with us tonight. Hello, Minute Craft. Let's go. You have to excuse me, I'm a little bit slow here on the uptake because I have changed keyboards that I use to toggle between scenes, and it's really confusing. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing, but it is. So yeah. Hopping in for a bit. Yes, sleep debt. Boy, I can feel you on that one. So anyhow, back to the big project. I'm really kind of excited about this. So yesterday I went and I added all of these. This is the burgundy color, and today I will be adding in the purple, which is probably really good because I've had people asking about this whole how do you add string thing, and despite me showing so many times, I can point to tonight's video as an example of one I've actually shown, because I don't know where the other videos are. I talk about a lot of stuff, and yeah, there you go. But yeah, I'm replacing the purple, and I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram post, but essentially I had said earlier that there's going to be 4 colors to be replaced. Well, the burgundy's already done, and then once this purple's done, that means I only have 2 colors left, and that'll be the red and the orange. So yeah, that's a real serious sign that we are getting very close at this. So yeah, the red and the orange will be made in the following pass right below this one, this grouping thing here. And I guess I've been confusing people when I'm talking about these things as rows. They're like, no, that's not a row, that's a whole bunch of knots, and that's crazy big, and that's something else. But as far as like the segments go, and as far as like how I'm trying to calculate how much of this needs to be done, for me, it's good enough to call it a row. Yes, it's a bunch of knots. I don't know how you would count that as like how many rows, because like typically when you're looking at a pattern, right, that this kind of comes down and around, and yeah, I don't know how else you would intend on counting that. So yeah, it is what it is, and I am very pleased with the notion that it is so close to being finished. So oh, check to make sure I turned on the magic 8-ball thing. Yeah, 8 balls. Yeah. So you might notice I'm a little bit dressed up here tonight. We just went to a 80th birthday party for my wife's uncle and barely made it in time to get the computer booted up and get the Mandy cam running and get everything going. So yeah. Right. I think a couple pieces of my my software all wanted updating. I'm like, not now. No, stop it. It never fails. It's such a weird thing. It never fails. Yeah, and I'll have you know that this live stream is so important to me that I passed up on birthday cake. Chocolate birthday cake. So, yeah. They were just getting ready to do all that. But of course, a bunch of people had to start taking photos of the cake and just started getting weird. Anyways, okay, so here we are. 2 purple strings, and we're going to replace both of them, even though they are a little bit on the longer side. It just seems to be a better place to replace them now than to wait until the next row down. So I'm going to take my string over here. Because they're doubled up, what I need to do is put the 2 ends together, come all the way down till it's a loop, and loop that around the bottom string. And because we're replacing 2 at a time, I gotta do that again. Yes, Mandy also missed out on cake. Grabbing the whole cake and running. Yeah, I don't know. 80-year-old dude probably get really upset. Alright, so basically I linked both of those purples onto the bottom one and then completed a knot over it. So now there are 4 strings of purple coming out. I take the longer one, the one that I just added on, and I start the next knot with it. And then I put the short one through the middle, and then I knot over top of it. And then I go to the next one, still using the long one, and put the short one over the top. And once more, just for good measure. And because this string has been sandwiched through this series of knots, even if I run this thing through a washing machine, it's never going to come apart. And that's the real bonus here. So now I'm going to take the short one, and I'm just going to pull it through the hole in the back there, so that way it's out of the way, it doesn't accidentally get into the mix anywhere. And now I'm going to do the same thing basically to the other side. I take the long string, tie half the knot, put the short one in, and finish this. So yeah, somebody was talking about trying to make headbands or something. Just trying to figure out how long they needed a string to be. And I was suggesting that this might be a slightly better way, because trying to work with gigantically long strings is not just tedious, it's downright difficult. When you can just replace the strings if necessary. This is a good way of doing it. You guys are, wait, I look away for a little bit to add some string. I look up and I just see food, 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 food. Yeah, it's technically possible. Well, a cool lanyard might be to do a kumi, which is potentially a little bit easier, especially if you have the kumi bobbins. If I was going to do a lanyard, I would definitely say that a kumi version would make more sense. I don't know if you guys remember, like Mandy even made shoelaces before, so yeah. So as you can tell, I'm not doing out the whole row. Like I could bring these all down further. At least not yet. We'll see how light the night goes. I'm kind of really hoping to get a lot of this purple on here, because as soon as that's done, yeah, I can stop worrying about adding the floss. It's just, it really slows things down a lot to adding the string. That said, I have to admit I'm fairly impressed with the amount that I've accomplished between yesterday and today. Mind you, yesterday was one of those like really good days where for some odd reason, like my brain cell decided, hey, let's go ahead and get some work done. And surprisingly, I did. Like, okay. Yeah, so I've done a guitar strap before. It wasn't terribly wide, maybe like 16. It might have been 32 string? I want to say, because it was, yeah, it might have been 32 string. Anyways, it did a guitar strap, and yeah, that thing, that took a while because it's really super long. Yeah, see, that is it, right? Hyper focus, right? Beautiful, wonderful state of mind. The question is, how come I can't just turn that on when I want to? Like, there are days where I would kill just to finally get that hyper focus back so I can actually accomplish something. It's like a superpower that I can't activate when needed. Yeah, so there is something about a flat kumi. I've seen the videos. I know that it's a thing. I know it exists. but I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work. Yeah, we even have a special disc type thing, right? To do the flat kumi.
Yep. The square kumi discs.
Yeah.
I should try it again sometime.
Right. I wonder if you could do your dragon beads with a flat one.
Mm.
What I'm referring to, in case anybody's watching this and they haven't seen before, my wife made this really cool dragon beaded bracelet for me. And yeah, it's awesome. I'm lucky. And yeah. Is my new crap leaving? Wait, what?
Yes, she's going to bed.
Oh. Well, good night. Not gonna lie, a little envious. That sounds really good. So yeah, every one of these little diamond thingies that I get done with the adding the purple just puts me that much closer to not having to add floss. And like I said, there's only two more colors after this. And this is going to take me all the way to the finish line. This is row 17 out of 20. Because we were basically able to figure out that the halfway point was at 10. So yeah, I can hardly wait to be done with this. Because one of my intents is I'm going to start making some more smaller sized bracelets and get my shop built up again. We sent a number of bracelets to the US, and I wouldn't mind having my shop to be replenished. As well as I can make a bunch of cool tutorials for you guys. So. Oh, and if you guys haven't seen, there's a thing over in the community tab where I've given you a multiple choice where you can guess how much string went into a project like this. And I think I messed up. I might have actually told you guys how many skeins it was last week, but I'm not sure if I actually said it out loud, so I don't know. But yeah, I'll reveal it after a bunch of people have tried guessing. You don't get to win anything or whatever, it's just for the fun of it. So, this is interesting. YouTube is finally saying that we have like 5 people watching, so welcome other people who are being quiet. Don't be quiet though. Secret word game. If you chat, you might just say that secret word and win both of these bracelets. So yeah, come and join the conversation. Yes, that means you have to actually log into your YouTube, but small price to pay to win cool stuff. Yeah, okay, so I remember mentioning it somewhere. Okay, so it was on Discord, so cool. So the community tab is still where people can try and see if they guess it. I can tell you guys, I am so stupid that I probably approached the finding out how many skeins this was. I probably did it 2, 3, 4 different ways just to make sure that I was doing it right. And the fact that I came up with the same answer no matter how I did it was like, oh, well, it must be that. Because, you know, it's one thing to make a mistake, you know, but if no matter how you try it, you keep coming up with the same number, then yay. Hey, honey, could you do me a huge favor?
Mm-hmm.
Could you grab a Diet Coke out of the fridge for me?
Okay, okay.
Oh. Absolutely parched over here. Oh, it's Rah Crafts. Hello. Banana. What? Yeah, so that's the. So, what is this? The 4th one? Is this the 4th secret word we have? Yeah, yeah. Try random things, but yes, they're all been connected to me some way. Like, one was Detroit, one was Rapunzel, which is what I've always called the bags, the larger size bags. One was caffeinated because I stay caffeinated. Whoa, that was weird. My GoPro just decided to start beeping at me. I have no idea why. Yeah, I was really confused by the banana hippo. Now I have ideas for future ones, though. I had such a hard time, like actually this time around, I had such a hard time like trying to find a word that pertains to me and the nodding and all that kind of stuff. Like I really struggled with it. Banana hippo. I think it'd be too hard if I actually tried to make that actually the combination. Like that would be really. Anywho. But yeah, so I think this last week has been really super productive because I don't remember where we left off on this thing, but I know that I at least finished all of this row in a couple days even. So yeah. And now we're beyond the halfway point of adding these. So yeah, it's been pretty darn productive. So any of you guys into tarot cards? I recently got a deck and weird things are happening. Yesterday I pulled out a card that, you know, I was gonna go and do the research up for the day, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, you know. It's the High Priestess. So I was checking that out, and great. Today I cut the deck. I shuffled the deck like crazy, cut the deck to a random spot, flip out a card. It's the High Priestess again. I'm like, wow, that's really weird. And then later on in the afternoon, I was like, before I go out, maybe I should try, you know, just see if there's like a card that tells me what I'm in for the evening. It was the same one. And I mean, I'm really shuffling the heck out of the deck, and it's coming up. So yeah, crazy. Is it Angelita? Oh, hi, hello. You love tarot. So yeah, so tell me, what is the High Priestess, and why does it keep showing up? Like, seriously, cut the deck 3 times, and she came up 3 times. Like, that's just weird. Like, I got him as a kind of a thought experiment to sort of, you know, try learning more about myself, or learn what I think about myself, kind of stuff. But yeah, I guess admit every once in a while, like, something weird happens and you just start questioning everything you know. Yeah, right? We really mean it. Yeah, that's kind of the impression that I got. But I don't understand what the card means. Like, they're just like, you know, something about knowledge of from the underworld, and I don't know. I don't have the thing in front of me to read what the definitions here said, but I don't. None of it seemed like I could apply it to my life. I didn't understand it. Cool. Yeah, if it had been like death or something 3 times, I think I'd have been really freaked out. I think I'd been afraid to open up the deck again. But yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a scary card. Oh, Isabel's here. Ah, sleeping in is understandable. It's okay. Glad to have you here tonight. No, secret word is not Freddy. The intuitive master, so she represents inner knowing. Inner knowing. But definitely positive. All right. wonder if that's supposed to be maybe some kind of reassurance that I can count on the deck for something. Like, one of my original questions was, was this thing going to be particularly useful for me? So yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll start doing a tarot reading before I do my live stream, so we can talk about what other kind of scary stuff I come up with. Well, I guess they're not all scary, but tell you what, 3 times with the same card, that kind of got my attention. Especially, it's not even like a tarot card is like what, 78 cards versus like just a 52 in a regular deck of cards. For that same card to get shuffled around and still pop up, the odds are, it's got to be ridiculous for it to come up 3 times. That's just completely beyond me. And it came up upright, like, because I know that that's a thing too. I know that if turn the card over and it's upside down, then that has an alternative meaning. To have the same card 3 times, all 3 times upright, yeah, that's kind of like the universe is trying to scream something. They're no longer hinting, they're like, dude. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Cool. Cool. Well, anyway, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 more spaces to adding 2 purples, and then the little half a space thing down at the very, very end. Not bad. Yeah, I've even dedicated a A5 journaling kind of book to learning the cards and learning their meanings and stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of really getting into the thing, trying it wholeheartedly. So if anybody wasn't here earlier, I was showing how I put the purple strings replaced with some fresh new purple ones. I'm about to do that again. Hang on. This really is the key in the bigger projects, honestly. First off, I can't imagine trying to do a big project where I only did a single strand. Oh yeah, Mandy's probably back over there, huh? Thank you for reminding me, Rainbow. I can't imagine doing a single-stranded big project because of the fact that when you double up the string, it takes up more space. It makes the whole thing go a little bit faster as far as like how many inches you come down. So yeah, doubling is great for that. Secondly, it allows you to do this little thing where we can actually loop a string on there, which gives it a really nice strong hold for starting, and then it gives us the space where we can get the one that we're replacing wrapped up inside of some other knots and makes it safe enough that yeah, I will run this thing through a washing machine when I'm done with it. And no, I don't even worry at all about that. It's really, I know I ran the big project, right? That the giant 866 string project, I ran it through a washer. So yeah, if there was ever like any question in my mind, like will these hold up? Yeah, there would be. I would never wash that, right? Because that thing is absolutely irreplaceable. 9 months of tying knots. So yeah, no, this is way works, and yeah. So basically, I just sandwiched those loops in the middle of a knot. I'm gonna just sandwich now the tails inside of 3 additional knots. And that's plenty enough to keep it from coming unfrayed no matter how much you wash it. And I trim it really close on the back. So, yep. The one thing that does certainly help me is the fact that my thing is on an easel and this particular board has a hole in it, so I can reach around here in the back, see there's my finger, and I can pull the short tails through to the back, and that way they're out of the way and not getting caught up in anything else. Works really good when you're towards the middle of the bracelet, not so much when you're at the sides, but it's not too bad. So last week we were talking about the fact that one of the things this channel needs is to be able to get more watch hours, because if we had more watch hours, YouTube would actually give me some money, and that would pay for me to send bracelets all over the place. If I had the money to basically, YouTube gave me like enough to say like, yep, somebody bought a bracelet and there's the shipping, why not give them away? So that's my end goal, is to where we just start giving away bracelets left and right. So if you're into this sort of thing and you enjoy listening to me, I have a whole boatload of bracelet making videos that you could watch, and just doing that could actually help this channel a whole lot. You could watch the live streams, you can watch the other ones, bag making, whatever you want. Oh, and like the videos. For sure like, because that's a way that makes YouTube say, oh, people really like his stuff, I'll show it to more people. So yeah, that's kind of a cool thing that you can do. And one of these days I'll figure out how to put a video onto Reddit and show those guys what I make. So have you guys tried to see if the 8-ball's working? I haven't seen anybody try it yet. Like, comment, subscribe. Amen, Rainbow. That's exactly it. Actually, wait, I have a thing for that. Although YouTube no longer does the red subscribe button. I had to go and change things on me after all the work I put into that. The 8-ball lives. Yeah, you guys are welcome to try. If you put in, like how Rainbow just did, an exclamation point 8 and ball, you can ask it a question, and the magic 8-ball, in the form of a robot, a very sassy little robot, will give you an answer. Oh, I should reprogram the 8-ball to have tarot card answers. That would be wicked. So you can see in that short amount of time from when I just started to add in that string to now, I have this whole little segment done. That seemed pretty quick. Alright, and since I'm getting near the end, I'll slide that in a bit. So how are you guys doing tonight? Tell me, what has been going on? Alright. Without a doubt, that is awesome. I was going to say definitely when it comes to coffee, make coffee. I hope your new hoops are gonna fit. That's certainly concerning. If you can't find a hoop to be able. So anybody who's new to the saga, Rainbow went and did a pretty extensively cool project, but may have messed up when it came to the where she started on the fabric, and so it was not centered and ended up being very, very close to the top. And as a result, she's saying that basically she's going to have trouble framing this thing, which is really unfortunate because a lot of work went into it. And yeah, that's wow. Oh man. Yeah, somehow I'm feeling much better about my own work because I haven't had any troubles, knock on wood. But yeah. Oh, and in case anybody's curious, my stitching work, whatever needlepoint thing, has been set aside in waiting for this one to finish because I've decided that I want to use some of these colors in the flowers, and where I've been cutting off the strings because they're getting too short are actually too short to do needlepoint with. So yeah, kinda seriously wanting to get through this. And like his secret word, April Fools. No, the secret word is not April Fools. And I was really surprised, like when I went to set up the date for this one, I was like, oh no, it's April 1st. Like everybody's gonna be like trying to prank me or something, or expecting me to prank them. And but yes, well, welcome, first time. That's awesome. Oh, I'm making a pillow. Hang on. Let me see if I can find cool pictures of the two previous pillows. Damn it, my mouse doesn't work. Wow, how long ago did I finish those pillows? Oh wow. Okay, that's weird. I did not post pictures of my pillows on Instagram. Oh, plan B. I got a plan B. these are the previous pillows I made, and this is going to be one that's basically along the same lines. Like that's the thing. So that's what we're making. I had to actually pull up a picture off my phone. So yeah, this project here. I'm kind of basically calling it pillow number 3 because it is the third pillow, and can't really call it a big project when my big project was so much bigger. Unless I rename the big project a huge project, and then, but that just seems like cheating. I don't know. I honestly doubt though I will ever do anything as big as 866 strings again. That's just, that was insane. Oh, Rainbow, you can actually share that picture over on Discord, and they could go over on the Discord and see your sweary cat, because that is hilarious. I, for some reason, have a new callus coming in. This finger, the way that my strings go across it, I have a huge callus here, and I'm starting to get another one up in here. Well, it's like my stream element bot is trying to like grab all the attention there. That's cute. Alright, another segment done. Anybody keeping track as to how far we've got? Like how many of these little segments? Because it's been about an hour, but I don't know where I started from, so yeah, I don't know. It would tell me whether or not we have time to actually finish this thing, or if I should just go back here and finish that part of the row. I just pictured what it would be like if Rainbow Haze was the count. 1, 2. Wait, where was I? My wife is apparently busy watching the badminton game because I was very funny and she did not respond.
Did you just call yourself funny?
That was a pretty funny one. Six? Not bad. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. So yeah, I probably won't quite get to the end of this row by the end of this live stream, unless we go late, which could happen. I'm feeling a little energetic. Yeah, I was just picturing the Sesame Street count and some chronic, and yeah. Hey, John made it. How's it going? Yeah, it's been a lot of progress. We're kinda in the home stretch, to be honest. You know, once we're through this, there's only a couple more rows afterwards, so, and it almost seems like a waste to add string at this point, to be honest. If it wasn't for the fact that I would run out before I hit the end, I would, I would love to skip the whole adding string part. But this is the last time that I will add string on this project. And yeah. Only 3 more of these segments before we're done with it. I'm so old. I remember when getting up at that hour on a Saturday meant it was time for cartoons and some kind of sugary breakfast treat. I preferred Count Chocula, but my parents wouldn't always get me that one, unfortunately. I really liked Count. If you ever see, Mandy, if you ever see Count Chocula at the store, we need to buy that.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, adding string definitely slows the whole process down. It's a bit more tedious, and it's just when you're really been on a roll and things are moving along really quickly, and then you have to stop and you have to go cut the string. Mind you, just to do one row to change out one colors is 16 skeins. So yeah, it definitely took a toll. So yeah, 32 skeins just to do these 2 rows here. Somehow the lag has left me stupid, stopping me from doing something. What was I? You'd think that I was the one on chronic. What the hell happened? From cutting string? From... The lag between when you guys hear me and when I get to respond is so bad that I can actually totally derail my own thoughts by not keeping up with what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know if it's a thing or not. Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Blueberry. Oh man. Oh, watching cartoons and eating cereal. Yes. Well, it's the eating cereal part that probably I'd have a harder time accomplishing. I'd have to convince my wife that it's okay to buy, you know, the sugar bomb breakfast stuff. Because those are the ones I really want. Like that's Captain Crunch was sort of okay. Um, if I was to go for one that I know for sure is still around, I'd probably maybe be the Lucky Charms. Trying to think whether Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles. There's another couple nice sugar bomb breakfast stuff. Oh, and I can tell you from experience that Fruity Pebbles glow in a black light. Now, I can tell you how I found that out, but if you want to have a really interesting and weird morning, eat Fruity Pebbles with a black light. Yeah, I have no idea why they would glow in the black light. Like what properties is even remotely possible to make a cereal glow in the yeah, I don't know. So I have to remember later to actually take a photo of the pillows that are existing and actually post that over on Instagram and Reddit because I was not aware that that wasn't already a thing. So, a little bit quiet here, sorry. Kind of concentrating and lost in thoughts. Really kind of blown away at how quickly this is kind of coming together, though. Oop. Hit the mic. So everybody else got quiet. Come on, guys. Secret word game. All you gotta do is chat to win. We can talk about anything. I have not led an exciting week this week. Rather than going for long walks to take a break, we took a day and we went down to the sports hub area and I got my skateboard resurfaced. New grip tapes. So that's about the most exciting thing I've done outside of tying knots this week. Oh, and I just discovered there's a new skate park that I can take the train to go to. And I'm really excited because they have a pump track. And I have been wanting a pump track in Singapore for years now. I have no idea how well I can do it. I have no idea how fast it would make me go. But I love the notion of doing a pump track. I think it's basically like doing squats to propel yourself. So the longer you go, the more fun you want to have, the longer you'll go. And the longer you go, the more of a workout that you will have gotten from it. And if that doesn't seem like a cool way of getting your exercise, I don't know. And is okay, so the Elise Diva, is that the size of my doubled up string? This Chinese string? So you have to make swatches, dude. You have to make, like, I have swatches for all of the different kinds of string that I use, so that way I can see that, you know, each one has 16 strands, and like consistently each and every single one of these, my little swatches, is 16 strands, and that way I can compare the different strings. So yeah. Oh, birthday party at the park. I like that. Wow. No, I was saying the one that you the thickness of the diva. Is the thickness of the diva the same as my doubled up string? The single version. Sorry, we're all hitting John with questions now, so. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's always fascinating to me, like how different strings thicknesses are and how that affects the knots and stuff. And essentially, you can't just use the fattest string possible, because at some point it stops looking like nice little knots like this and starts to look like traditional macrame. And yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate thing. And again, if you're gonna work on a big project like this where you're gonna want to change out strings, you really kind of want to have it doubled up. Honestly, it's an easier way of being able to add your string. And yeah, there is a limit. Yeah, mixing colors, that sounds fun. I don't know if anybody here has tried it yet, but when you mix two colors together, it does interesting things to the bracelet itself. I think one of my really good examples of that, I think, got given away in a Patreon thing. Which, by the way, yeah. Hang on, I'm going to take a look. Yeah, I thought so. It's gone. I don't know who got it. One of the bracelets I made sort of looked like something out of a Spider-Man movie. I was pretty sure it got given away, but yeah, it's not in my collection, so. So Rainbow, it looks like you can cut it into quarters, so you can maybe find your perfect thickness. That'd be awesome, especially if you can if you use just a quarter of the strand. Means you're really going to be able to get a lot more mileage out of one piece of string. That sounds kind of cool. Hey, maybe you, because you guys do the cross stitch, maybe you guys could answer something for me. I'm considering getting some kind of fabric that I want to be able to write on, because I want to put on the back of my swatches what kind of string it is or where I got it from, because I envision playing around with some new strings coming up, and it's already kind of difficult, for me to remember all the strings that are currently in my swatch collection. If I'm going to continue adding to that, I think I'd like to have some kind of labels on it, but I don't know what kind of fabric or something to really attach to it. Obviously, you can't. I don't want to do paper or something that moisture could spoil. So if you guys have any good ideas for me, that would be really cool. And as soon as Rainbow said they're cute little skeins of yarn, I pictured the googly eyes again. I don't know. Wow. 170 shades of colors. That's a collection. course, says the guy who has a collection of string stuck in an airplane trolley. I honestly think that if I were to go absolutely hog wild making bracelets for a year, I still wouldn't use up all the string that I have. And I intend to actually prove that by trying to make a whole boatload of bracelets this year. Between designing them and making them, that is. So that's pretty cool. I love how this channel is connecting people and finding cool solutions to things that are embroidery floss, but not related. Not. Yeah. The blue here, that is... I can tell you what that is, actually. 796 is the color. I have totes with this string for the project. Just happened to be close at hand. I see. I tried to set it up where I thought Mandy would be like, who's there? And then I was going to run with it. But she's like off in a whole nother world. I don't know. Yes, I was trying a not joke. See, now I have no idea. Dave's not here, man. Speaking of string, Mandy, did you order the 36 or whatever it was of those one strings? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, baby. I'm actually pretty anxious to see how that goes. And because we'll be doing swatches and bracelets, we will know not only how well it knots, but how well it kumis. Because I kinda, I can't say I hate, but like the Daiso string is definitely not as easy to work with. Mandy absolutely hates it when it comes to the kumis. So yeah, that's a thing that sometimes happens with these strings is if you're not making a kumi loop and doing other things to it, you might not notice just how kind of grabby, I guess is the easiest way to describe it, how grabby the string is. When you go to lift one strand and all the strands come along, then yeah, it makes the doing a kumi really, really difficult. Yeah. Yeah, clingy threads can be hard. But then again, you need it to be a little bit clingy because the opposite is those satin strings, or is it satin, honey? What's the one stuff that doesn't stick? You can't land
Rayon?
rayon. Yeah, that stuff. You can't get it to land a knot where it'll stay knotted, and that's the opposite trouble. Yep. But, okay, so what you can do with those strings where they're super glossy is you can mix them with a cotton. So if you find a similar color or a compatible color, you can run it along with the cotton, and the cotton will work as the teeth to hold the knot in place. And then you get just little elements of shine that will be in your bracelet. There'll be little parts that shimmer in between the cotton and the stuff. So it's a really cool way if you really, really want to use the shiny glossy floss. That's how you do it. You mix it. It's not how I wanted to use it, because obviously the way I wanted to is I wanted to have one super glossy, amazing, shiny bracelet, but that's not how it works. That just, it's too hard. It just keeps coming apart. Yeah. So yeah, acrylic is super smooth, and yeah, you need to have teeth. So my only gripe about acrylic is that as it wears on your. It's basically it's a plastic, and you are creating little microplastics to get into the water system and eventually into our food chain. So yeah, that's my only gripe about acrylic. Um, the what's the stuff that we were getting that we made the thread out of? Rayon?
Rayon.
Rayon. Rayon is a plant-based thing, and so when it breaks down, it's actually biodegradable. So if you want to play with some fun string and have cool colors and whatever, rayon is the way to go. Hey, Isabel's back. Hello. I have made regular macrame with hemp string before, like regular. I don't know what those knots are called. There's one where it spins, and there's one where it's flat. I made a whole boatload of bracelets out of that back in the day. I have looked for hemp that is closer to an embroidery floss type of consistency, because most of the hemp that I've ever gotten is more like twine, where it can be thin for a little bit and then gets fatter and then gets back to thin, and that is not good for making bracelets. So yeah, I'm all game if I could find something that's consistent. I would make it work just to do it, because I know that hemp fiber is 3 times as strong as cotton. So if you can imagine that, like, I've had a bracelet that I made and I wore it for 6 years, and that was out of just regular cotton. Can you imagine the kind of length you could get out of a hemp bracelet? That would be amazing. And yeah, I would be all about it. So yeah, if you have a cool source in hemp like strings, yeah, I'd be all about that. Ooh, can you imagine making a bag out of hemp string? Like, you could just beat that bag up, and the first 5 years would just be breaking it in. Now, mind you, I think I've seen some kind of hemp string that might be usable out of the US. The problem is shipping to Singapore tends to be very expensive. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would come out kind of rusticy if you tried it that way. Yeah, the stuff that I had, it had limited colors, and it just wasn't consistent. It wasn't great. We played around with it a bit. We made some kumi stuff out of it. Because yeah, you can totally do a kumi with it. And if you know, if you want to make bracelets, necklaces, I think was it hemp that we made a ukulele strap, right? We had to make it a second time because the first time was too short. Had kind of
Oh, yes.
yellow and or sea blues and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there is such things, and you guys have tried it. I'd be really interested in hearing your reviews because, yeah, I really do like the idea of using natural materials. Um, Obviously, hemp is one of those products where uh, it doesn't require the intense watering and pesticides and stuff that say cotton does. So that's like an extra bonus win for hemp, is that it can be grown just about anywhere with very little in the way of pesticides. So yeah. I know that like Levi's, I've heard, has made hemp jeans. So if they're able to make hemp jeans, um, obviously somebody's figured out how to break it down and make it soft and make it nice and consistent. So hopefully that means somewhere else out there there is somebody doing colorful strands. So I just sent Mandy a link to, I don't know how to say this, otherwise I would have just told you guys about it, but this is, they have a web page or web thing going on over on Facebook. I have no idea what that word's supposed to be. It's hemp.
Empty.
Hemptique, as in like partly hemp and part antique.
Boutique.
Oh, boutique. Oh, hemptique. So hemptique crafter, HEMPTIQUE crafter, sells spools of hemp type string. Now, what this stuff looks like to me looks more like, it's less like twine. What would you describe that? Like the, what do they call that? The bread string or bread something? Bakers, that's it. Baker's twine. So I don't know if it would work, but because they are in California, the shipping is the problem for me. I mean, if it turns out that this stuff is amazing and awesome or whatever, then maybe it's worth me picking up a few. But I don't know. It's a bit expensive. They have smaller, like cardboard swatches with the stuff wrapped around, and I think that's the kind of twine-ish hemp that I was working with before. That I was just sort of like, nope, didn't like that. So yeah, but if their bigger spools are something that works out, then yeah, I'd be interested in knowing. I certainly hope so. It's one of those things where, honestly, if I could go into the shop and actually get my hands on it, I would probably be able to tell within a few moments whether or not it would be good for my own personal use. And that's the sad part, is it's in California, and I am not. So yeah. And to be honest, I don't know how many yards or meters those, they're bigger, you know. Is it still called a skein when it's on the little cardboard thing? What are those called? Yeah, see, exactly. I don't think I really necessarily have bad string, but I bought some fluorescent string that the first time I got like all these colors and I loved it, so then I went back and I ordered more, and they sent me something completely different. So now I have a whole bunch of colors that I really don't have a big love for, so yeah. Go figure. Just realized I can slide this down more. The hemp string? For the needlepoint? Is that
There's a hem thread.
There is? That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it turns out you guys try out that the Hemteak stuff and find out that it ties knots really well, I will buy up a few balls of it and make some kind of a bag. Oh, the failed neon one. Yes, you're right. I could use that for that. Sorry, the lag between me talking and the replies. By the time, and it's not you. It's the YouTube. That by the time I talk, and by the time you hear me, there's probably a good 30 to 45 seconds, at least. So yeah, I get lost in thoughts. Yeah, they light up underneath the black light, but they're like a weird orange and kind of ugly stuff. Yeah, they're just not. They're not as pretty of a color. But you're right, it might actually make my needlepoint kind of pop. That could be fun. That is very true. That is very true. The technology should not be taken for granted. The fact that, yeah, yeah. We got John over there in the west side of America. We've got Rainbow in England. I don't know where Rihanna crafts this from, but yes, all around the world. Oh, now I got that song in my head again. God. Around the world, around the world, around the world. And Isabella in Canada.
What?
Canada. Canada? We used to. I'm from Detroit. We used to always joke about Canada. Like, I probably had like a half dozen different ways of saying it. Canada. Our neighbors to the north. Good day, eh? I like Canada. They're like they're kind of like the U.S. with freedoms and stuff, but like cooler. They've got health insurances and Canuck. That was another good one. The Canucks. Oh, right on. Yeah, seriously, all around the world. Sassy, sassy April. I think John must have fallen back asleep. Hey, the Canadians brought us hockey, so they're like heroes. Trying to think how, if I make something out of the hemp, how to get a good durability test. Like, I could try to wear a bracelet, but if it really is in fact gonna last 3 times as long as a regular bracelet, that's a long time before I see, like, you know, how long it's gonna last. I mean, like 18 years of wearing it, like, oh, I guess it really did work. I guess I can make something else now. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, there's got to be some kind of a better wear and tear kind of test to get an idea as to like how much better it potentially is. I don't know how to do that. I'm just picturing that. I don't want to wait 18 years to be like, yep, that worked good. Heck, even if it just lasted twice as long, that would be pretty miraculous, I think. Really? Just picturing, well, they don't need a machine to pulverize it. They could just ask my mom. How fat is she? No, okay. I only got a little chuckle out of Mandy. I'm slightly disappointed.
I suddenly saw something pop up in the chat. I'm like, oh, somebody said something. Oh, no, it's just the bot. We're getting down to the last of the strings, which makes pulling out one more difficult because where before there was a whole big group sort of holding everything in place, now it's getting kind of lightweight. So yeah. Sort of a good predicament to be in. So did anybody see any good April Fool's jokes this year? I've enjoyed some of the ones I've seen in the past where like the airlines that were talking about, they were going to have an acrylic made plane so you could see out the, through the floor of it and stuff. But I haven't seen any good ones for this year.
Oh no. Oh, retaliation should be brutal. Tell him you're taking him out for ice cream and then ha. I got you a new PlayStation. Haha. Tell them that the PlayStation will be delivered later today. You're waiting it for the Amazon. They told you it'll be there. Let them sit around and wait for it all day. Wow. Waiting a whole year for vengeance. That's tough. I was thinking all kinds of like dastardly things to do. Chocolate chip cookies made with X-Lax. Finding somebody you could rent a dog for a day. Look, we got a new puppy. Psych. Oh, if you want a really cool one, get a bottle of the shaving cream, the aerosol can type. If you put a pin down into the nozzle where the shaving cream comes out of, and then pour hot wax from a candle into that nozzle, when you pull the pin out, it'll just be a little tiny hole, and that stuff will shoot for a good 20-30 feet. It really becomes quite the projectile. Yeah, that's a great way of getting someone. Yeah, right. trying to think of the kind of pranks that we did as the kids. I think back when I was a kid, pranking was pretty much just like, I got you something, then nope, I didn't really, haha. I don't remember any really good ones per se. How about you, Rainbow? Are you doing any April Fooling today? Cling film, yep. Well, let's hope you don't lose any needles. Hopefully you didn't step on it or something. Like, find it in a tragic sort of way. Yeah, that's true. So we have the advantage here in Singapore. We don't have carpeted floors, so if a needle hit the floor, there's a chance I'd hear it. And even if I didn't hear it, there's a good chance I would notice it pretty quickly. Yeah, I can't wait for this project to be done. I really kind of set aside the whole doing needlepoint until this is done. I have brand new needles to try out. I've got all kinds of stuff I want to do. I got colors in this I want to use, and yeah, pretty excited. Mind you, I had no idea that I would be finishing this row here today. Like, honestly, didn't see it coming. Didn't. But that whole hyper focus and getting excited about getting it done is driving me to the point of really pushing through this. Yeah, carpeting is common even back in Detroit where I'm from, so yeah. No, I hear you. Just over here everything's tiles. We have super humidity issues, so carpeting gets kind of gross. So this is a bit of a trick. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm way off on the edge now. So basically I have to do one off to the left and then introduce my string on the very edge of this. So it's kind of the same thing, except for that first knot is sort of a one direction than the other, and then bringing it inwards. It's still going over it the same number of times and everything. It's just a little slight variation. And I'm excited because it means that I only have 2 more strings to change out. Yeah, it's true. We really don't need carpeting. You're right. It's not like we have a problem with going around barefoot or whatever. So yeah. And to be honest, if tomorrow goes nearly as well, this whole row will be done tomorrow. Considering how much I got done in just a couple hours, honestly, having the whole day, I can expect the rest of this row to be done tomorrow. So yeah, that's awesome. There we go. I've completed this part of the segments. So, and here it is. It's well after midnight now. So before I go, I do want to thank my Patreon supporters for making all of this stuff possible. I came really close to giving up on my whole channel a while back, and it was my Patreon supporters who convinced me to stick it out. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, Rainbow's right. So tomorrow is Patron Hangout Day, where we get together and we share our art and funny things that we've seen on the internets and all kinds of other ridiculous stuff that we get up to. So yeah, if you want, come join me over on Patreon and we can do all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, so we'll be back again next week, which is on the 8th, April 8th. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys then. I'm not sure what we'll be working on. It could be this, could be I'm going to be designing some bracelets, so that's coming up here real soon. I just don't know what, depending on where we are on this, what we'll be doing. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.